You know what? I'm not even mad at the rappers no more. I'm not even mad at the rappers. I'm not mad at the singers. You know, however you get that money, make it, spend it. That first year, it's just gonna have to be what that first year is. And then that second year, let's talk about keeping the money, okay? So I went ahead and wrote down some notes. So this is why I personally say hustle culture or the Dave Ramsey, any of that information is really just neither here nor there. Because what we're first taught is, oh, you have a problem with your circumstance, go ahead and, you know, work 80 hours and it'll all work out. But nobody that I've met has ever come out of their circumstance, their mentality, their environment from working more or hustling more. Matter of fact, there are more people that I know that have worked 2-3 jobs, haven't got any sleep, and still broke. Okay, they did it since they were younger. We all know we have older abuelas, we have older aunts, we have grandmothers, and these people have worked their entire life, okay? We always go back to the lower level worker or the manual labor jobs. These jobs require the most hours, and they end up with, you know, the least in your pocket. Unfortunately, in this society, they do. So when doing the Dave Ramsey method and relying on work to help me get out of a situation that work essentially got us in. Tell me a decade, tell me a couple years where black or brown people have not worked. I'll wait. Like, we didn't need to be taught how to work. We needed to be taught how to mentally overcome all the barriers that seem to pop up whenever we're trying to overcome certain things. And not necessarily just black and brown people, but this relates to anybody in your whole generational background. We deal with so many obstacles mentally, so many shiny syndrome things. And even if it isn't just necessarily stuff that you buy in your house, even courses, all of these things hopped up because, hey, I want to get to the next level, but you're not ready mentally to elevate there quite yet. And that's where I found myself in. So, side notes, we paid off like 120, 130, something around it. Like, it doesn't even matter anymore. Like, let's just be honest, it doesn't even matter anymore. But we paid that off in around 2020. And we had so much opportunity. We didn't pay off our student loans, just mostly because we really got to the point where we said, this is great, but also I don't want to pay off everything and not have anything. I don't want to be at zero, technically, you know, where I should have started or been born at. But when we have a different conversation about what those circumstances look like, a lot of us that are black and brown were born in the negatives, okay? We were never at zero. Let me just put it like that. When it comes to financial literacy, let me speak from my perspective, most of the people that I know and my relatives, they went for the easiest apple. And the easiest apple in our neighborhoods were cash advances. And these cash advances are predatory. But let's solve the real problem. You can't not give me a cash advance and then also not have any jobs in my neighborhood, and then also not have any other opportunities for me to make cash, and then also. Why were we passing legislation for financial, you know, predatory loans or cash advance and things of that stuff? Things similar to that, but we never talked about ways to educate people so that they wouldn't be able to come into the place. And let's not even talk about it. Let me back up. Why are we taking away cash advances in underserved neighborhoods or communities and we are not replacing the money. That was the biggest thing for me. It was a really big thing when I was in school in Waco. Oh, Waco has too many cash advance places. We're going to put a cap on it. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. These people would not have to resort to this smaller item or this easy money, this $500 until your next check, which is 2 weeks away. So you are getting $500 and I only make $400. And now I got to talk to Sam and figure out how to pay Sam from Peter, whoever. Was it Sam? It was somebody, Peter, Paul. Okay, it's very similar. Peter, Paul, very similar in name. But when we look at this relationship between them, there has to be a replacement. There's never, physics. You have to replace something with something. Something doesn't turn into nothing. It doesn't. So when we talk about taking things out of a community, we also need to replace it with those better things. So if the loans are predatory, then we need to replace them with grants. We need to replace them with businesses. We need to replace them with something other than, oh, I'm going to pass a law to take away whatever you obviously needed to survive. Moving on from that. So our hustle year, that included, we were teachers. So both me and my husband, our income together was about $130 with the summer school and tutoring and all of that. It's about $130,000. And then and then I did surrogacy, and we didn't make it past the gestation period. We were inseminated. We went and got inseminated. The baby did not survive. We did that for probably about 7 months, and we got paid $1,000 each month. So that, was it 7 months? Because they paid us for all of the traveling, and then you got paid $1,000. So that was roughly about $10K. So I would say we were at $140. And then we worked with this pharmaceutical company, and it is what it is. We definitely grew from that situation, but the guy got arrested. We did that for about 6 months and got about $6,000 from that. Just a whole bunch of hustle. It was just hustle. So now we are at 150. We did about 250 on our e-commerce store, and that payout was 20% after all of it. So after all of those costs, let's see, 10%, 25 plus 25, 20%, $50,000. All right, now we are at 200,000. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Then we also did, I know I'm missing something. We also did e-commerce automation, and that was like 20,000 in the hole for us. We did, we paid for a website. Like, all of these bad things were happening. You don't understand. Like, while I was making the most money, we were making the most money that we had ever made profit-wise. You have to look at all the stuff behind the scenes that's like, I swear. But these things come with a price. So we were definitely getting hit, but we decided to bounce back and not accept it. And it was really at a point, I remember it was at a point in May or August that we were driving from work and we were trying to figure out how we were going to really continue to do this, because our Amazon store and Walmart got suspended, and they got suspended for the second time. And we were just really asking for advice, direction, and all that from the guy that did the automation for us. And he was there for one thing and one thing only, and it was not for our accounts to be performing well. So we still deal with that today. We are still dealing with the outcome of having the wrong person on our team. So I'll be thankful when we get a couple years removed from it, but we're just not there yet. But those accounts were suspended, and at one point I was just like, oh my gosh, there's so many doors shut in our face. Maybe we should just walk away and not do this anymore. But we continue to push through. I really genuinely think that God put us in this space for products for a reason, and we will continue to develop the products and develop ourselves within, product-based businesses. And look, we're looking into services too. So anyways, another one of the things that happened was our wholesale item in Canada was held up in customs, still is held up in customs, and it's been a year. Literally, Alibaba will not refund us because it's been longer than their period, and it just seems that this is a consistent thing. We believe in the best in people, and that's not what business is about. So we have a strong deadline. We set a strong deadline from here on out. Business is business. It's not personal. I'm not saying anything about you. I believe you. COVID is going on. Whatever. Thousands of dollars tied up. Thousands of dollars that came out of our account. And then we pay for a website trash, absolutely trash. Probably could have went to Fiverr and paid $500 for it. Guess how much we paid? $6,500. So now we're going to litigation for that. We are not going to sit by the wayside and let something like that happen. This was from I wouldn't say a family friend, but somebody that went to our same school. Like, we just put a lot of trust in people. And forget trust. That's what I learned. Forget trust, okay? What does the contract say? Does it have a deadline? Period. I asked my lawyer. Got one of those, okay? And maybe I'll do it the other way around now and have them look at the contract and tell me if this contract is looking like something that I should be doing. Because what I was doing before was really reading and hoping that somewhere in my mind I would find a clue as to whether this person was trying to swindle me. I didn't find it. Okay, and let me make sure I didn't. Anyway, I didn't miss anything. But really, all of that was a redirection. I 100% believe it's a redirection from God. God did not want me to make myself smaller in order to acquiesce myself to this product. Man, the product was gonna take too much of us. So I really took all of that as a loss for last year, and my taxes due also. But I'm not quite sure if we should just work the products until we get our profit back, or if we should just dead them and move on. I'm really moving toward leaving those items, selling those items, leaving it in the past and moving on to what I really think God wants us to show up as. And that is just something that I learned in this season. I don't have any loss. I'm not without. I am living the best of my life. I'm so happy. I went to my kids' graduation the other day. I drove all the way back. Oh my God, my kids. I just wanted to cry. But that's not why you guys came here. Anyways, I came up with a plan to pay off our debt now. So not only did we make that money, the rest of the money that was made was from the sale of our house. So we sold our house, and oh my gosh, y'all, it was a big thing. But then also it was this was our I don't want to say sacrifice, but it really was. It was our sacrifice to God. Hey, you have provided. We did this debt-free journey. Then we were able to qualify for a home on a teacher's income. We have money in our account. My son had a 2,000 square foot house to run around in. His cousins were there. All of this information. But you know what, God? I believe that we are not in a place that we need to be to really impact others. Right now, we're doing what we think we should do and what brings us comfort. I don't want to be here anymore. I really had a mental breakdown in June because I was doing so much working. I was doing so much working. Like I said, I worked the entire summer, and that was like $8K or something like that. But totally not worth what we had to deal with. Let's see if my looks decent. Totally not worth what we had to deal with. But God knew that I was gonna hustle and say 8K. Yes, I'll be there all day. And it was, and had a mental breakdown, and I was broke for a minute. I was broke with imposter syndrome, disbelief, so many limited beliefs. But bye to that girl. I don't even recognize that girl. Who is that girl? Okay, I don't know her. I have so much confidence in what God has restored within me that I already was there, and I just had to take off the veil, and so much has been revealed to me in this space. I'm so excited to share with y'all the plan. All right, so the rest of the plan has to do with this $250,000 debt that we have, including our student loans. So our student loans is about 90,000. So 100 grand is our student loans, and the rest, you know the rest. And when I first dealt with paying off student loans, you know, we could run it back up. I have no problem because A, I paid them off before all of these debts, and then B, God has restored a skill within me that I can be successful in developing, right? I'm not afraid because I have faith that God will put the people in our lives, in my life, in order that I can elevate and pay this off in double. Okay, so God has humbled me, but He has also provided places in the middle. So my day job pays 60 grand as a base. I have a commission-based job, and that means that I do sales. Come on, baby, what you need, what you selling, what you need. I need it all. And my average commission check per month is about 7K. And then my husband brings in 60K also. So between us, let's say no commission check, we make about 8K, and then the expenses on the business is 6,000, and then the cost of us living is 4,000. So between both of us and the business, our expenses are 10 grand. But we almost make that with ourselves. We don't though, so we'd be upside down 2,000. But we do have the business. So we, on our regular income, that's $8,000, but the business brings in $6,000, so the business is really at zero after everything is paid out. So 6,000 plus 8,000, 14,000. 10 minus 14, 14 minus 10 is 4. So if we were to pay the minimum toward that, you know, this little avalanche method, then it probably take about 5 years for us to pay off that 250,000. But we ain't doing that. Period. We're not doing that. We finna run it up. Come on now. Because with the mistakes that I done made, I know it's been plenty of business owners that have dealt with the same thing. So we finna run it up, okay? I can show you how to make $40,000 in profit minimum from a year of reselling. And if you don't do nothing else, use that 40K to start your record label or start your rapping business or whatever you want to start. But God has my back, so I'm not worried about the other opinions. But what I'm mostly worried about is keeping the income. So now I've gone with a budget method thanks to Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. Here's a secret. Building your rewards, okay? That debt-free method with Dave Ramsey was not working. Eating ramen noodles, it was just, oh, I'm gonna pay this off. Ooh, let me splurge. And at the end of the day, now that we look at the results, I had 100 grand before that I needed to pay off, and it was really 100 grand total. So it was 160, but that included the student loans. So that meant that we had 90K student loans and then possibly 70K outside of that. Well, this time we doubled it because who am I to not double up? Who else would I be? Yes, we doubled that. But now we have this vehicle. Period. It's going to get done. So we have that, and then monthly I'm going to be updating y'all as to how our business going. Oh, let me tell you. Our Amazon store our Walmart store was terminated. So I literally, we were drop shipping for a minute, and that's against terms of service or whatever, but it's against the terms of service with Amazon too. They gave us 2 warnings. Walmart gave us 1 and then terminated us. So they actually held on to $12,000. Y'all, what they don't want to tell you about e-commerce, is these people will hold and keep your money. Plenty of times, several times we've had 60 grand held, we've had 15,000. Like, they eventually give it back to you, but this is to keep you from continuing, and they almost won. But like I said, my God is greater, my God is stronger, and they still have our money. But we are continuing to truck on. We had a whole plan together to stop drop shipping, and I guess for a minute it was something that everybody did, but you know what they do to God's children. Whenever you do something and you know you're not supposed, you're the first one to get caught. That's exactly what happened. And this had started with the guy that we had done a partnership with, and like I said, he just wanted to make money. We were scrambling, trying to figure out what exactly he was doing, while also trying to pivot into something else. The pivot didn't come quick enough because I was overwhelmed, and it pivoted our business. But I ain't sure, because honestly, I think God had, like I said before, God has something better in store for us, and products are just not it. But if you want to know how we make this money on Amazon, I'm your girl for reselling. Now, we try to pivot into private label items or white label items. Look, we have not been successful in that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. We got items to send to Canada. Like I said, they've been stuck for a year. They've been stuck for a year. Our other product is like, womp womp. It's okay. I don't know if it's gonna make our money back. And then, we were gonna think about launching another product, just like our Stash That model that we've been talking about, and it's good in theory, but I don't think that's where God is sending us. He might just whip us back around for more products. But I think I'm playing too small. I think in these places, these marketplaces, they're playing on our top right now. And I don't like that. So I'm gonna do my own website. I'm shutting everything we did down last year. That includes Thinkific. That includes Shopify. That includes Walmart. Well, Walmart, you can't fire me. I'm firing you back. Walmart. Our trademark. Y'all. Our trademark. I gotta get rid of some things in my life so that I can make space for what I'm finna do. Y'all, follow me for the next thing in our life, because this ain't all you've heard of us, okay? This ain't it. I love y'all. Until next time.